Hello everyone and welcome for this new tutorial. Today we will see how to use the behavior tree to create an AI companion. We will use the map that we have created in the previous video, and we will add a wolf companion that's gonna follow us and that's gonna attack some animal when we ask him to do it. So we will do that by using the behavior tree. So let's dive into it and let's go to Unreal. Okay, so here is the escape that we have made on the previous video, and I added some deer. As you can see, there is some deer that roam around. When I go too close to them, they run away. It was a simple AI. I will show you that how I made this at the end of the video. And the thing that we want to achieve is that this wolf will be our companion. I want this wolf to follow us. And when I will press E, for example, I will look at this deer and I will press E, the wolf is gonna go and kill that deer. That's what we're gonna try to achieve. First, before we start, I made a simple wolf blueprint. For now, the blueprint is just a wolf with an animation blueprint with his animation. A simple animation also. We have the idle and the walk. If he's moving, the walk is going to be true and it's going to do the walk animation. We need to add the attack animation in this later on. So let's work on our companion. We need our wolf to have a reference to our player. The wolf needs to know who is the player, so that it can follow him. So we'll go into the blueprint wolf and we will add a variable. It's going to be our player reference. Make that as a BP underscore third person character with the object reference. And in the beginning play, we will get all actor with tag. We'll use the tag player. Then we'll do get a copy, get the 0, and if this is valid, we will set our player reference. Now, if it is valid, we will cast it. We will cast to third person character. Okay, that's perfect. Now we need to add this tag player on our character. So I'm gonna go on the blueprint third person. On this blueprint, we'll go into the viewport, and on the self, we will go and type tag into the detail, and we will use the actor. To the tags actor, we'll use our player tag. Okay, let's compile and save. Now we will go into our wolf blueprint folder and we will create a new blueprint class. It should be our AIController. AIController, like that. We will choose this one. Call this AI underscore. We will go into our blueprint wolf and we will tell this blueprint to use the AI wolf. If I go into the blueprint wolf self, if I click on this, we can go into the search, and if we type AI, if we scroll down, we can see that we have on the pawn the auto process AI when it's placed on the world, but we will choose place in the world or spawned. For now it will be placed in the world, but if for example the wolf dies and we need to respawn him, we need to add this or spawned. Otherwise, when he will spawn, it will not be working. It will only work on stuff that are already placed into the world. Then we need to change the AIController class. We have our AI wolf. We'll choose this. Now we can create our behavior tree. So we'll go into artificial intelligence and we have the behavior tree. We'll call this BT underscore wolf. We call this wolf companion. Now we can go into our AI wolf blueprint. And in this, in our F1 graph, we'll need to get our onPossessed event. So we use the event onPossessed. This event will be triggered when the AIController wolf will be attached to that blueprint wolf in the world. When it's called possessing. It's when the controller possesses a pawn. When the pawn is possessed, then we can tell the AI wolf to use the behavior tree. So we can just do a run behavior tree. Behavior tree assets will be our behavior tree wolf companion. In here we could say that if this wolf has a player reference, then it's not wild, it will be a wolf companion. We can actually do that. We'll go in here and we have the possess spawn. We'll do a cast to BP wolf. Then we'll do the get player reference. And if the player reference is valid, not this one, if the player reference is valid, then it means that this wolf is a companion. So if it's valid, we will run the wolf companion. If it's not valid, we could run another behavior tree. For example, a behavior tree for a wild wolf. So that's good. We'll compile and save. Now we'll go back into our wolf folder and we'll create something called a Blackboard. We'll name it BP_wolf companion. And let's get into our wolf companion behavior tree. I will first set up the Blackboard, our Blackboard wolf companion. The behavior tree will have all the logic for the AI. So there we will add what the wolf is supposed to do, like wait for 5 seconds, then go and roam around and stuff like that. And the Blackboard, we can access it with this button. The Blackboard will have all the variables that we will be able to use in our behavior tree. We can set the value of the Blackboard into our blueprint wolf or into the AIController. We can do that in both of them, and then this value saved in the Blackboard will be available into the behavior tree. We need to have the wolf following the player, so we need to have the reference of our player into the Blackboard. We will create a new key, and it will be type object, and we call this PlayerReference. In here we need to change the key type. We have the base class object, we need to change it to blueprint third person character. I'm gonna save. And now we'll be able to use this player reference to tell our wolf to go and follow him. So for the behavior tree, there is multiple stuff that we can have. It works kind of like the animation blueprint. We have a first node called root, and then we have some new node. We have the selector, the sequence, and simple parallel. The selector will select between two states. So if we add, for example, in here a sequence, we have a first sequence, and then we have another sequence. And the selector will be going into the first sequence. It always go from the top to the left, then onto the right if there is some stuff to do on the right. The selector will choose either this sequence. If this sequence can work and works fine, it will go into the first sequence, then stop. It's not gonna go into the second sequence. The selector will only work on one of each of its children. As you can see, it explained on the node. The selector node execute their children from left to right and will stop executing its children when one of their children succeed. So if this sequence succeed, then it will stop and go back to the beginning and redo the sequence until this sequence failed, and then it will go into the second sequence. And if we have multiple, it will go into the first sequence if this sequence failed also. We also have the sequence. The sequence will run everything that is under. For example, I can do a wait, I can do a move to, I can do any stuff, play animation. And the sequence will play everything one by one from left to right. It's gonna do all of them. It will stop the sequence. For example, I will do the wait of 5 seconds. Then I will do a move to. If this move to failed, then the sequence will stop. It's not gonna play the animation, it's gonna stop. Then it's gonna go back to the beginning and then redo the sequence. And we have a last node called simple parallel. The simple parallel, as its name apply, it will make two stuff work in parallel. There will be the main stuff to do. For example, if I do a move to, this will be the main stuff to do. So it will move toward the stuff that we said, for example, the player. it will move to the player, and at the same time it will do something else. And the other stuff can, for example, if I do a play animation, the play animation will keep firing until the move to is finished. So the play animation will play, then stop, then play again, then stop, then play again, then stop, until the move to is finished. So that's very important. That can be very useful. So our wolf is gonna have two different states. The first state will be I'm following the player. The player is moving around, I follow him. And the second state is gonna be that the player asks the wolf to attack something. So we'll need for that a selector. We'll go and choose selector. Then we will select between I'm attacking something and I'm following the player. In here there will be a sequence for attacking. I can rename them. In here there is the node name. I can do sequence attack target. There will be a sequence for attacking the target. And there will be another sequence for following the player. So this sequence follow player. Okay. So we'll start by working on the follow player. To follow the player, we will do, there is some node that already exists. We will use the simple node for now. We will first do a rotate to face BP entry. So we'll start by rotating the wolf to look at the player. So into the Blackboard key, we can use the player reference. So we'll rotate to face the player. Then we will move to the player. To move, there is two different nodes. You can use the move directly toward. The move directly toward will go straight to the player, for example, without using the navigation system. So if there is something in between the player and the wolf, it's gonna get stuck onto it. So we'll use the other node, which is the move to, and it's gonna use the navigation system. So if we have a rock in the middle of the line between our player and our wolf, the wolf is gonna go around that rock. We'll do a move to, and we will choose our player reference. We can change the acceptable radius. For now it's 5. We will see maybe 50, we will see how it goes. It will be the radius where the move to is gonna be finished. So around the player, a radius of 50 should be enough. Maybe it's too much, we will see. But we don't want the wolf to keep hitting the player. And then we will do a little wait, because we don't want the wolf to be going crazy, because if the move to is finished, then it's gonna go back to the selector and do again the rotate and the move to. So it's gonna go like crazy all the time. When it will be close to the player, the wolf is gonna go crazy, like turning. So we'll add a little wait to prevent that. So we'll use a wait. Into the wait, there is different stuff that we can change. We have the wait time. For example, we do 2 seconds, and we can add a random deviation. If I put 1, it will be 2 plus or minus 1 second. So it will be a range between 1 and 3 seconds. Let's remove this for now. So that the selector always select the follow player. I choose the player ref as the Blackboard key, and here we have the player ref. Okay, it should be working. Let's get into the game. It's not working at all. Yes, something that we actually need. We need to create into the volume a nav mesh bound volume. If I place it on the floor, we can go into the show and we will show the navigation. If I do show and I type navigation, we will see this in real time. For example, now this place is available for the navigation. If I increase the size of my nav mesh, this, it will recalculate. When it's green, the AI can roam around there. And if it's red, for example, if I put it here, for example, the character will not be able to walk in here. It will be able to walk there, but not on the rock. Because the rock block, for example, there. You can see here, this is a place where the AI cannot go because there is the rock, there is the collision of the rock. And all of this place will be available for the AI. So we'll increase the size to cover our landscape. We don't really want to go everywhere. We just put it here, for example, and increase it like that. And you will see Unreal is going to calculate, you can see, all of the place where the wolf or the deer will roam around. I will increase the Z also. Just make sure that it cannot go into the water. That's perfect. You can see, in here the deer or the wolf could be able to go and roam around onto the rock, because the rock is kind of flat. That's pretty cool. So now we have our navigation mesh. I'm gonna disable the navigation. Up. Okay. Now let's see what's going on with this wolf. I know what's going on. Into the Blackboard, we have created our player reference. We are using it into our behavior tree, but we never set it up. So the wolf is setting our player reference. Our AI wolf is checking that the player reference actually exists before running the behavior tree. What we will do is that we will get our Blackboard. There is a node get Blackboard, and then we will be able to set the player reference. Do set value as object. The key name, we will promote this to a variable, and we will rename this PlayerRef. Then we need to set the object value, and it's going to be our player reference. In this a little bit. Okay, perfect. So we'll run the behavior tree, then we will set our player reference. So now the wolf should be able to go to the player. Still doesn't want to follow us. Okay, I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm gonna remove this. And I'm just gonna run my behavior tree. Then we need to set it. We need to set our player reference. So we'll do it into the wolf. If I go into the blueprint wolf, there we get our player reference, and after that we'll get our Blackboard. And we'll do the same thing, set value as object. Up, we'll set our player reference there, and we'll promote the key name to a variable, PlayerRef key. We compile, then we need to set this player key called PlayerRef. It has to be the same as our Blackboard. I go into the Blackboard, it's PlayerRef, and I set PlayerRef. Now it should be working. Let's get back to our viewport. Okay. Here is our wolf that's following us. You can see the wolf bump the player because the acceptable radius is not big enough. Let's get back into a behavior tree, and into the move to, we will increase the acceptable radius to 100, and now that's perfect. You can see the wolf stop at a good place, and it's actually following the player. Maybe the weight is too big. I'm gonna change the animation also. So I'm gonna go into my animation blueprint, and I'm gonna use the run animation instead of walk. I'm just gonna rename this run, and I'm gonna use this run animation. I want this animation to loop. It's gonna be better. And I wanted to change the weight. It's too long. Maybe 0.5. I will not, maybe 0.5. Let's see. Okay. That's nice. The wolf is actually following us. Then when it stops follow, it goes back into the idle animation. So when I mean the acceptable radius, the wolf just turns. But when I go too far, the wolf runs towards the player. Okay, perfect. Now we need to add the way for the wolf to attack the deer. In the wolf, we have a custom event. We'll call this the target to kill. We'll add an input, it will be the target. It will be blueprint deer. Now we'll just check and do a little is valid. And if it is valid, I'm gonna go into my Blackboard because I need to have access to that value. I will add a new key. It's gonna be an object and it's gonna be my target to kill reference. It's gonna be an object and the key type is gonna be blueprint deer. We can actually use actor. It's actually better to use actor because we could make him kill everything we want, and not just the deer. So I'm gonna change here the target. We're gonna do an actor. Then we will need to set this value into the Blackboard. So if it is valid, I'm gonna set this value. I'm gonna change the key. I'm gonna promote this key to a variable. It's gonna be the target kill key. I'm gonna compile. I'm gonna just set this target into the object value and the target kill key. I'm gonna go and get the name to make sure I don't mess up. Okay, so now if this event is triggered with the target, it will set the value into the Blackboard and we will be able to use it into the behavior tree. Into the behavior tree now, we can right click and add a decorator. For our example, we will use the Blackboard. We will, if I click on the decorator, there is some stuff we can change. The Blackboard key first will be our target to kill. So if the target to kill is not set for us, if the target to kill is not set, we will do the roaming around to the player. Then I'm gonna create the other sequence. I'm gonna rename this to sequence kill target. I'm gonna right click and add a decorator of type Blackboard. And we will use our target to kill is set. Something we need to do is that the wolf is gonna be following the player. If the player shows the target to the wolf has to stop following the player and straight away attack the target. So we can do that with this notify observer. When the result of the target to kill change, we will do a observer abort. It means that it will stop doing this sequence and it should go back to the root and then go back to the selector and go in here because the target to kill is gonna be set. We'll do self. So if I click there, we can see in green all of the node that's gonna be aborted. If it's actually doing the move to and reset the target, it's gonna stop and go back to the root and to the selector. If we are waiting to do this sequence also and reset the target, it's gonna stop also and go back to the root and stuff like that. Okay, so let's work into our sequence to kill the target. First, we will rotate. We will just rotate to face the target. Then we will move to the target and then straight away it's gonna do the attack. There is nothing to do an attack. There is nothing that exists. There is no task to do an attack. So we need to create our own task. On the top, we can see that there is the new task. In here, we will click and we can create a new task. It will be a blueprint task with the blueprint base. We choose that. And we'll call this BTT for blueprint task underscore attack. If I go into my blueprint wolf component, I can use now my new task. We can see now in the task, I have my BTT attack. Now we can go into our blueprint task attack. So we need to use a node called, it's an event received execute AI. You have the owner controller, which is my AI controller, and the control pawn, which is my blueprint wolf. So we'll get this control pawn, I'm just gonna do a simple isValid to be sure that we have a pawn, to prevent the stuff to do null pointer, and then we will cast to bpwolf. Compile, and we will go into our bpwolf and we'll create a new event, a custom event. Call this attack target. Compile, we will do that after. Get back into our blueprint task attack. And we can call this attack target. When we are done, we need to use a node called finish execute. So when we successfully attack, we will do a success. So this node will be finished as a success. And if, for example, this cast doesn't work, we will do failed. And if isValid doesn't work also, we'll do a failed. So that's a very simple AI task. Into the attack target, I'm just gonna set a boolean as is attacking. Or I could play a montage, maybe. Yeah, we'll play a montage. It'll be easier. Let's go into my wolf animation. Let's find a wolf attack. Yeah, we have the jump bite. Okay. That looks cool. And you have the normal jump bite. We'll use this jump bite. Kinda like it. As it is a root motion, I will enable the root motion. Okay, we'll save. I have a video on root motion if you want to see how it works. We'll do it very fast in this tutorial because it's not the main goal. We'll right click and create a montage. Create an animation montage. Call this wolf attack. We go into my blueprint wolf. We'll do play montage. Play the montage. We'll get our mesh into the skeletal mesh component. The montage to play will be our wolf attack. Keep everything as it is. Now I'm just gonna go into my wolf attack to add a notify. When it's actually touching. That's a very mean wolf. When the wolf is gonna be biting, like here, I'm gonna add a notify. Add a notify, create a new notify. This kill target. When we will arrive there into the animation, we're gonna kill the target. Let's go in here. We have on notify begin. We'll do a switch on name, but not there on notify begin. If the notify, if the pin, if it's kill target. So when we will arrive there onto the notify, we will kill the target. It should be triggered. This will be triggered. The on notify begin, and then with the notify name, this will be triggered. We don't need the default pin because we just have the kill target for now. And let's do a custom event for kill the target, for killing the target. Custom event, check, and kill target. Put check and kill target. And we are just gonna do a simple do a sphere trace by channel. We are doing a lot of stuff. It's going very fast. It's not the main purpose of the video. The main purpose was the behavior tree. But I still want the stuff to be working so you can see the entire process, not just the behavior tree, because behavior tree that can be very simple, but the main focus is how to use the behavior tree with the blueprint to make it work. That's why we are going into the blueprint. Try to follow along. We are making a lot of stuff, but I will show you the result very soon. The start, we'll get our actor location. The end is going to be the actor location also. The radius will do something like 100. And I'm going to debug it persistent because I want to see how it looks. Then we will stop like that for now. We will then use this to do something after. I just want to make sure everything is working. It should be good. We have the selector which will select this if the target is set. If it's not set, it's going to be following the player. If it's set, we need to actually change this. So we have the rotate to face BP on tree. We will choose our target to kill reference. Our move to will be our target to kill also into the Blackboard key. and we'll change the acceptable radius to something like 120. One last thing we need to do in our animation blueprint, to be able to use the animation montage, we need to use a default slot. This in here, and now we can use animation montage. Compile and save. And let's just make sure that the wolf is still following us. Okay, the wolf is still following us, so that's still working. We have our little wolf following the player. Can I jump on it? Okay. I can bounce on my wolf. Okay. What I was doing. Now we need to set the target from our player to the wolf. I'm gonna go into the third person blueprint. I have my input. I will create a new action input. You can go and check on my channel all the tutorial for the stuff I'm doing. They are there. We already cover everything. We'll create a new input action called kill target. Then into the default we will create a new mapping with our kill target. We'll use the key E. Then if I go into my third person, if I press the E, I will use the input action kill target. If it starts, I will just do a sphere trace by channel. Start will be my actor location. The end will be the actor location plus the forward vector. We'll do the one of the capsule component, should be the same. But let's get this one, it will multiply. Multiply this forward vector by a float. For example, 1000. We'll add these two. And it's gonna be the end. We'll do a 150 radius and I'm gonna do a persistent for now. And we'll check how it looks. If I press E, I'm gonna remove the sphere trace. We'll use the multi-sphere trace. Will be better. Multi-sphere trace by channel. It's better to use this one because we will touch a lot of stuff in the way, and I just want to be sure that if I touch the deer, it actually got triggered. The start will be this, the end will be this, the radius 150. Maybe we'll increase this to 2000. Let's do a persistent and let's check it out. Let's try to touch a deer. Would I have touched this one? I don't know. Let me increase the radius. Maybe 500. And if we hit something, to branch. If we hit something, we will do a for each loop. We'll do a for each loop with break. Up. If we touch something and if the loop body will break, it results. And if this actor will cast to BP deer, if the actor is a deer, we will need to tell our wolf that this deer has to be killed. We need to add a reference of our wolf, maybe BP wolf. Object reference. I'm gonna get my blueprint wolf and I'm gonna do a setup target to kill. And if the cast is good, it will set up this target to kill and we will break the for each. Because if we touch multiple deer, if there is multiple deer in front of us, we'll touch, for example, like 3 deer, and we don't want the wolf to be and go on a killing spree and kill everyone. We'll just kill the first one that we touch, and then we will stop. And if we want to kill another one, we will just press the key, and we will kill the other one like that. Let me just clean this, and that looks good. I'm gonna just create a custom event. Set up wolf companion. I want the wolf to set up itself as a companion. wolf ref, BP wolf, object reference, not ABP but BP wolf, object reference, and we'll set this wolf ref. So if the wolf ref is valid, not this one is valid. Okay, if this is valid, we'll set the wolf ref. Perfect. Then into the blueprint wolf, when we set the player reference, we will also set itself as a reference. We'll get a player reference. We'll do a setup wolf companion, and we'll just put the self into the wolf reference. Okay. We're almost done. Now I roam around. I have this deer. I don't care. Let me check. Okay, it's going. He's trying to kill him. Okay. Let's check what's going on. There is multiple stuff that are going wrong. First, this is not working. We have the montage that play, but I don't think this is working. I never saw this sphere trace popping up. On notify begin. I messed up my animation montage. I think I messed up this. Yes, we need to do a montage notify. Because if I do a notify like I did, the notify that I did can be used into the animation blueprint. Let's remove this notify and let's use the notify notage. And we can change the name here, and we're gonna use the same as this kill target. In here, into the notify name, kill target. Okay. Let's go into our third person blueprint, and I would like to remove this persistent. I will do none, because we know that this is working. Our little stuff there, it's working. And let's try to kill a deer. Okay. I press E, so now the wolf is trying to go and kill him. But the wolf is so slow. Come on, man. Why are you smelling his butt? Okay. So there is another issue. The acceptable radius of the move to is not good. Target to kill. I put 120 and it's not good. Let's put maybe 200. 300 maybe? Let's go with this. And I would like to increase his speed. I'm going to need to create a new task in here. Between these two. I'm going to create a new task. Okay. It will be blueprinty underscore set tracing speed. We do the receive AI, execute AI. We have the control pawn. We'll cast the BP wolf. Let's do is valid first. If it's good, we will get our movement, character movement, and we will set movement speed. We'll set the max walk speed. Change this to, let's check the default. Where it is? That's 600. Let's put 900 maybe. We'll see how it goes. Where is my task? There. Let's do 900. Okay, now we can use this BTT set chasing speed. We'll rename this to set wolf speed. And we will make this as a variable. Gonna be called max walk speed. And we'll do this as instance editable. And now we'll be able to set it up into our behavior tree. If I call my task, blueprint task set walk speed, you can see that here there is the max walk speed that we can set up. So we have the 900. That's good. And in here we will change it back to 600 to put it back as default. Perfect. So we have changed this. Let's make this a little bit here and this here. We have the move to target to kill, target to kill. Okay, okay. Let's check it out. Let's hope it's working. So the wolf is completely broken because I forgot something I told you just before that we need to do. It's in here. We need to do the finish execute. And this is success. This will be failed. And this will be failed. Okay. Let's get back. So the wolf is following us. And we will try to go next to a deer. This deer. I'll press E. He don't care. Okay, he's going, he's going. She's running faster. Trying to kill him. Come on, man. It just died in the water. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. We will change this radius from 100 to 400, not 4,400. And if we touch the branch, we'll break this it, break it result. If the it actor is the blueprint deer, if it's true, we'll just kill this deer. I'm gonna go into the deer blueprint and I'm gonna create a new custom event. Add a custom event. Kill deer. I'm gonna just set a boolean. It's dead. Up, true, up, perfect. Tac, tac. Into the blueprint wolf. Let's clean up a little bit. There is too much stuff open. Okay, into the blueprint wolf. If this is a deer, we'll kill that guy. Kill the deer. Okay. Okay. Let's get into the animation blueprint of the deer. We need to get dead. We'll set auto variable dead. Up. I'm just going fast. Now I'm not. I don't care about the naming convention. It's okay. Let's just make it work. In here, we'll create a new alias to def. From idle, walk and run. And we'll get the dead def this animation. That's nice. Okay. Let's do up state dead up this no dead up, and in here we will use the dead boolean. If the deer is dead, it's gonna go into the dead mode. I'm gonna do the same with the female deer. Up. Let's get dead. Let's set up to a variable. Prompt variable. Okay, that's good. Tac. And into the graph now. The same thing. Can I just copy and paste? I'm lazy. Does this work? Yes. Yes. Just need to change the animation to this. Up. Okay, and I'm just gonna do something into the dir. If he's dead, let's set a value. We'll promote this to a variable. Call this is dead key. We set it to true. So we can stop the behavior tree of the dir. Behavior tree of the dir is there. To create a new Blackboard, a new boolean called is dead. I did set up this is dead. And in here is this one. The new one I've created is under the first one. I'm just gonna put it on the top. It's gonna be the most important. Is set has to be not set, and if it's set, if the result change, we'll abort. Same for this. Create a new decorator of Blackboard. Let's put it on top. And instead is set, and on result change, we will abort. Perfect. We can actually remove this. Let's stop. Okay. I'm just gonna go into my wolf and we do the same as the player. Get forward vector of the capsule. So we multiply by a float. We do 500. And then we'll do a add this to vector and put this into the end. We'll do none. Kill dir. So the dir will be killed. And now we need to set our target to killed. We need to set our target to kill as nothing up. Need to reset the object to be nothing. And then here, when the result change, if we are actually attacking, we'll stop attacking. So we'll do an abort also in here. See how it goes. The wolf is following us. We have a deer there. It's going. Trying to kill him. Okay, I think I know what's going on. Into the wolf, in here, it actually got triggered by the landscape. It's something that can happen, so I'm gonna go into the landscape. I will add a tag. That will be in your ignore trace. It's gonna be easier. Up, like that. I'm gonna go into the event begin play. I will make a sequence. In here we'll get all actor with tag ignore trace. This will promote this to a variable actor to ignore. Now we can use it in here. And let's just put this back to persistent to see what's going on. Okay. Worked. It's still roaming around, but it actually worked. Okay. Let's do this to none. And let's check why the deer. I set it to dead. I set the is dead key. I don't set the is dead key, so it's not working, obviously. Let's get the name up and into the dir. In here, the name of the key up is dead. So Let's check what's going on with the wolf, if it's working. I'm gonna go and tell the wolf to attack this deer. It's too far away. Let's find a deer that we can actually attack. Maybe this one. Okay, the wolf is going. Perfect. It's working. Now the deer is dead. It's not moving anymore. And the wolf is back to following us. If I go and find another deer. Where can I find a deer? It's going and oh, didn't kill it. Perfect. It's a little bit rough, the animation and everything, but it's working. Come on, man. Attack this. Attack. Nice. It's working. Perfect. I think there is a bug with the deer. They are doing the jumping like that. Why is that happening? Why did that change the deer? That's broke. Is that has to be not set? Okay, it should be perfect now. The deer is running away because it's scared. Let's check when it stopped. Okay, they stopped, so they are not scared anymore. Let's send the wolf, le deer. Did it! It's working! Perfect! Perfect. I use the PawnSensing. There is a component that you can use. It's called PawnSensing. And it's actually to sense stuff around. So there is the hearing and there is the sight. The important stuff for me for the deer was the sight. So I made the peripheral vision angle to 180. If I put 90, for example, it will see less stuff. It will just see in front of him. If I put 180 to be able to see in the full range. And there is the size of that the deer can see. And then there is an event that we can use on see pawn. So if the deer see the character, the third person character, I set the value is scared as a boolean into the Blackboard. Then into the deer. If the is scared is set, it goes into the runaway and it's gonna get a random location onto the world far away, and the deer is gonna run until there. Otherwise, it gets a closest location and the walk speed is slower. It's just roaming around, nicely eating grass, and when it's scared, it go and run away. It was a very simple behavior tree. You can do that behavior tree. It's very easy. We saw everything from the behavior tree. So that's it for today. I hope you like this video. I hope you learn a lot about behavior tree. You learn how to create a companion that's gonna follow you and that's gonna attack the stuff when you tell him to do. We did it by telling him to attack, but you could also do something like if I touch an enemy, if I attack an enemy, the companion is gonna attack also. You can do that kind of stuff. The trigger will be different, but the process behind with the behavior tree will be the exact same. So if you like this video and you learn everything you wanted to learn, please leave a like and subscribe if you don't want to miss the next video. If you want to see how I made the landscape, you can check this playlist. There will be all the video for the creation of the landscape. And for us, it's gonna be done for today, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.